everybody. All right, so we're recording. Okay, so it's Tuesday. Thank you guys very much for being on here. Quite a bit of stuff actually to cover. Just coming back from Celebration and whatnot. Lots of good stuff happening at Celebration. There's still some good incentives out there that are available. There's good stuff still coming. Some good incentive stuff still coming from Isagenix, and some product stuff that I know that's coming up. So there's a good amount of stuff that's coming. However, what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, since this is the first week of the 90-day game plan, is kind of how do we launch that, right? So, and how do you get into action? How do you capitalize on this? And, you know, what can we expect from corporate? Because, you know, when Tracy and I started in 2013, I think that was the first year that Isagenix did a corporate run 90-day game plan. I don't think they had run them. I don't think they had done them before, because they kind of took, that was kind of like the time that they started in on these things, right? So these corporate run 90-day game plans. Well, part of the reason that you want to pay attention to these 90-day game plans is you've got Isagenix is going to offer incentives, right? So I promise you this is going to happen. Isagenix is going to offer incentives throughout the 90-day game plan, okay? So right now, in this particular month, they're talking to us about connecting, okay? They're talking to everybody about connecting. So they want everybody connecting these first 30 days. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden they throw out some incentive for the next 30 days that's going to be something about, you know, if you enroll X number of people, you're going to get this, right? Because they understand how to do that, right? That's the same thing that happened. That's why we're going to be seeing Carla in Cayman, right? Because they ran an incentive, and then they said, oh, if you enroll 15 people, then that's going to give you these points. We're not going to tell you what the points are for. And then all of a sudden we found out after the first year that the points were for these trip points, right? And like, I think they said right at the beginning that like 80 to 85% of the people that earned the initial 5,000 points were going to make the trip to Cayman, right? So it was a big deal. Sorry, I got to write a note down here. I just saw something that sparked my memory here. So that's one of the things I want you guys to think about is how do you pay attention, or not how do you, but just make sure that you pay attention to these incentives and understand that when they say you need to be connecting, for those of you who are interested in doing this as a business, they're giving you a hint that something good's going to happen from that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, with connecting, I'm going to tell you some of the people that have already connected. Okay, so I was going through the back office and going through some of the reports, and it actually was pretty impressive. And we were in the process of we had been calling people when they rank advanced, and then Celebration happened, and we kind of got behind, so we haven't. But we've got some phone calls to make. So, but I'll let you guys know who these people are up front, and then maybe if you know that they're on your team, then maybe you should reach out to them in case you didn't know that they rank advanced, and let them know. So, and these aren't in any particular order because as it got, I would show you my notes, but it's kind of embarrassing. So I started writing them, and then I was like, oh crap, and then I had to skip around to get them all done. But anyway, so Katie Spencer, who was enrolled by rank advanced to consultant, was enrolled by Jamie Williams. Jessica Poteet, rank advanced to consultant, and she was enrolled by Beth Gilmore. And Deanna Goodall, rank advanced to consultant, she was enrolled by Carlin Jason. Carrie Schmidt, rank advanced, she was enrolled by Jessica Strict. Stephanie Hansen, rank advanced, and she was enrolled by Eileen Bell. I'm going to keep going through the consultants, and then I'll get to the managers. Matthew Keenan, I'm sorry, different Matthew. Matthew Keenan was enrolled by Amy Batchalder, and Matthew is kind of interesting. I've been helping him because he's actually in an Air Force base in South Korea, and so he's enrolling. He's actually doing phenomenal. I think he's on his like 7th or 8th enrollment, and he's enrolling other military guys because he said that the food supply there isn't really what they're used to eating. So they're all liking the Isagenix because then they don't have to go out and eat the other food that's available that apparently it's not what they're normally used to, right? So He's actually having some pretty good success with that. So if you know anybody in the military overseas, that might be an angle. These are, these guys are all living by themselves. They're all living in, barracks kind of environments or housing. They don't have their wives with them in most cases, not in all cases, but in a lot of the cases. So it's been beneficial to them. Kim Ursini, she was enrolled by Terry Beckman. I know Tracy has been working with that one. And I apologize if I get some of these names wrong. Mia Telamo was enrolled by Chaslin Cash. So I know I saw Sarah on here. So Sarah, congratulations down there. Matthew Thompson is enrolled by Zane Darty. Carlos Rodriguez was enrolled by us, and he ranked advanced consultant. Scott Mickelson by Stephanie. So congratulations, Stephanie, on Scott, and also on Allie. And I think it's Minden Howie. But anyway, Allie. So Allie ranked advanced consultant. So Stephanie had a couple of people rank advanced consultant. And then Patricia George was enrolled by Jackie Brokowski. If I said that wrong, I apologize. And then the managers, I'm almost done, guys, but I want you guys to understand this kind of what's going on, right? So the managers, Amy Batchalder, again, enrolled by Michaela. So Michaela, Amy rank advanced to manager, and I know part of that rank advancement was due to Matt. So congratulations to you on the activity that's going on there. And then Amy Morzine was enrolled by Missy Kupal. And so Amy rank advanced to manager also, and that was under Missy Kupal. So good stuff there. Now, 1 star, and what this means is that they cycled at least 10 times. The very first time they cycled 10 times in a week, right? So if you see somebody says they're a 1 star, that means they cycled 10 times. If they're a 2 star, they've cycled 20. Then it gets kind of goofy because it's 3 star means 40 and 4 star means 60 and whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a rank. It's based off of how many times they've cycled in 1 week. Okay, so accumulation of cycles in 1 week. So this is a 1 star rank advancement, and this is Nancy Tom, and she was enrolled by Heidi. My belief is, and actually I'm certain about this, is that this was a situation where somebody was ordering a lot of product and they were just staying active, which we're going to talk about that, because if you're an associate, you bank all that product. And then after they kept banking that product for a while, then they enrolled a couple people and got paid back. And that, you guys, is called being a really smart customer. Okay, so for those of you who have people who are like, I don't want to do the business, I don't want to do the business, that's fine. Would you like to be a smart customer? Right? Because if you want to be a smart customer, then you would bank the volume that's available to you and turn that into money if you ever decide you want some. Right? That's just being a smart customer. That doesn't mean you're doing the business. It just means that if you're cutting coupons, it doesn't mean that you're doing the grocery store business. Right? It just means you're being a smart customer. And in this case, if you convert from preferred customer to associate and you're banking those points, that just means that you're being a good and smart customer, right? So, and I'm going to give you a really big one that happened, and you're going to see how smart of a smart customer you can be, right? So that's Nancy Tom. And then I don't know Amy Dursk, but she's under Kaya Landers, and she also ranked advanced to 1 star. So I don't know if that's the same situation with her or not, but that's Amy Dursk, and she's under Kaya Landers. So if anybody knows her. Now, here's the big one. Here's a husband and wife, and I'm going to show you guys how this works, what this looks like. But here's a husband and wife, and they were ordering under the husband's account, keeping him active. He was in the Ice and Body Challenges. He was doing his thing. He was just ordering product, ordering, and they just banked up points and banked up points and banked up points. He went 5 star, you guys. Okay? When you go 5 star, that means you cycled 100 times. Okay? So he cycled 100 times in a week, right? Because he banked up all that points, and that's $54 times 100, right? So by being a smart customer, and because they use product, they just banked up that points under that person, and then they eventually just said, okay, we're going to get paid out, and then they sponsored 2 people, and Isagenix paid them. This is what I'm talking about when I tell you that Isagenix has the best compensation plan out there. Like, this guy had been ordering product for probably 2 years or more. And Isagenix lets you bank it and bank it and bank it and bank it and bank it, and they never take it away. They don't ever wipe it off. and they bank it and bank it and bank it and bank it. And then they wants to bank and then they want to get paid. As a smart customer, they enrolled 2 people and got paid $5,400, right? Because that's 100 cycles. So 100 times 50, 410. Don't forget the 10 cents, right? So anyway, so that's Jim Spielman and Sandy Spielman. So, and I know they're down underneath Heidi. So if Heidi's on here, congratulations to you on doing some great coaching with them. Okay. All right. So that is being a good customer. And that was the first part of this whole connecting thing, right? So when you're talking to people and you're talking to them about being a customer and you're talking about how they can do these things, that's what that's about. Now, how do you make that happen? Okay. The first step is everybody needs to know this. When you enroll someone, they're a preferred customer. As a preferred customer, they can bank points. They can bank their points. And if you enroll people under them, they'll bank those people's points for the first 90 days. Okay. As a preferred customer, from day 0 to day 90, they will bank their points and they will bank anybody below them's points. Okay. From day 91 to day 180, they will only bank their own points. Okay. Because Isagenix is like, hey, you don't really look like you're trying to be a business builder, and that's okay. We don't want to force anybody to do that. So we're just going to let you continue to bank your points if that's what you want to do. On day 181, if they have not converted to associate, Isagenix just simply says, look, they're obviously just wanting to be a customer, and so they literally wipe all the points away. So any points that they had at day 181, they just go away. Again, they're not being penalized. It's just that if I enrolled Laura and Laura's like, hey, I'm not really interested in doing the business, Isagenix isn't going to worry about calculating points or banking points because she doesn't care, right? And her actions are showing that she doesn't care, right? So what I'm going to encourage all of you to do is to show your team, and this is the verbiage that I use when I'm talking to people, is, hey, Laura, I know that you haven't finished your enrollment to associate, and I say it in that way. You haven't finished your enrollment to associate, or finalized. You haven't finalized your enrollment to associate, and if you do that, then any points that you order will be stored up for you. But if that's not of interest to you, I would like to say that if you're okay with it, if you would convert yourself to associate anyway, it gives you 2 free enrollment codes, and I can use those codes for other people, and I would really appreciate it as a favor to me. Okay, I already know her, right? So I'm just asking her to go in and complete her enrollment to associate. And when she does that, Laura, if you want, just send those codes to me and I will use them for other people. In fact, if you do that, who knows, maybe I give her something for it, right? Maybe I give her a canister of shake for it, or I give her whatever, right? You can do whatever you want to do, but what you're doing is, I don't want you to be afraid to ask for the favor. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. Explain to them why the benefit, because they bank points, and as a good customer, they may be able to turn those points into money someday if they want. And if they're not interested in getting any money back, because I know you got a lot, Laura, so I know you're not really interested in getting money back. So I get that. I don't want to force you to get money. But if you convert yourself, if you complete your enrollment to associate, then that's going to give me the ability to use those codes for other people, right? Nice and easy. So that's why you do that. On that same topic, customer. Okay, some of you may not be aware of this, but you can actually enroll in this business as into your tree. So Laura could enroll me as a customer. And what happens if I get enrolled as a customer, I don't get 25% off of retail. I get 10% off of retail. Okay, I don't have to pay a membership fee, but I would end up on Laura's tree as a customer. Okay, so I would have an account and I could go in and I could order, and I would get 10% off of retail. She doesn't have to pay a membership. I don't have to pay a membership fee. I don't have to do anything, but I get 10% off retail. And I'm on her tree. Now, if I ever want to convert from customer to associate, or pardon me, from a basic customer to a preferred customer, I've got to pay $39.95 for my membership because I'm already on the tree. And Isagenix has already been giving me a discount. So they're going to try to get some of that money back. So they're going to charge me $39 to become a preferred customer. So to go from customer to preferred customer, it costs 39 bucks. Okay. You only get 10% off. So if you've got somebody that says, hey, look, I don't want to buy my membership fee. I don't want to do that. I don't want any of that stuff. Then you say, no problem. I can still sign you up as a customer, but it's going to cost you $39 instead of $29. And you're only going to get 10% off instead of getting 25% off. Why anybody would do that, I don't know why, but I've seen it. I see it on the tree, and I see people on the tree as customers, and it's whatever, right? So they can do that, okay, just so you guys are aware. So once they are at that customer status, again, I want you guys to make sure that you understand that they only bank those points for the first 90 days, and then all the points go away after the 180th day, so on day 181. All of you, if you care to look, if you go to your back office and you go under reports and you click the action report button, and then you'll see a little tab that says business blueprint. If you click that business blueprint tab, it will give you the very bottom section will show you anybody that you've enrolled that's about to fall out, that like if their renewal is up, right? It will tell you that. And you can send them a notice if you want or whatever, right? So if you choose to do that. If you haven't enrolled that many people, it's not that hard to look and say, oh, it's been a year. Hey, Laura, it's been, you enrolled in, August of last year. It's August of this year. Your enrollment's due. If they didn't put themselves on auto renewal, then it won't automatically renew. Okay. Last thing on the whole customer thing, and then I'll see if there's any questions. On the customer thing, if you have somebody that wants to start, but they don't want to pay them, and they're hesitant about the membership fee, or pardon me, about the auto ship. They're hesitant about auto ship. Please, please, please explain it to them simply like this. Michelle, I know that you don't want an auto ship, and I'm cool with that. Let's do this. Let me save you $10. I'm going to sign you up with an auto ship. And then I'm going to contact, and then put it in your phone, Michelle. I want you to put this date in your phone right now, 2 weeks from now. Okay. I want you to call me on that date. Okay. And I'm going to put it in my phone too, so I call you. I'm going to reach out to you at that time, and I'm going to see if you want anything else. And if you don't, then we're going to cancel your auto ship. Okay. It saves you 10 bucks. You have nothing to lose. And we're just going to cancel it on that sign. What you don't want to do is you don't want to say, I'll call you tomorrow. Because Michelle doesn't need to order products tomorrow. Okay. That's not important to her. Ordering products tomorrow is not important to her. And there's no rush with Isagenix to do that, because not only do they not have to fulfill the auto ship they have, they can move it out. If they're like, well, you know what, I'm not sure, let's just move it out another month. No problem. Move it out another month. Okay. Now I just don't want it. I don't feel comfortable having it. I want to have it deleted. No problem. Let's get it deleted. Get on the phone with them with customer service and say, hey, we need this deleted. Okay. Or they can do it by the chat option, or they can make a phone call themselves. Okay. They've got all those options to terminate their membership. Okay. Or to terminate their auto ship. Okay. Now, on the topic of the preferred customer, I saw a lot of people when we were going through paying these things, and what we had to do, just so you guys understand and I don't want to go too deep into this because it's not really you guys' problem, but when we get all of these people that submitted that they wanted to get paid for this incentive that we ran, what we had to do is we had to go to every single account, verify that every account had at least 150 BV or more in it, because we actually had some people send us saying that they had purchased that. Let's say that Laura sent me a screenshot saying I purchased 150 BV, right? And she trimmed off the top conveniently, right? And then what would happen is Laura didn't actually buy the product in her name. She went down and placed the product under somebody else's name down underneath of her, and then had the product shipped to her. And what they really did was they didn't let that new person know that this incentive even existed. They were just using it to buy more product. Okay. And we specifically disallowed that in the thing. So what we had to do is we had to go to every single order that was ever placed and check them. Now, because I have a problem with attention, I went, not only did I go to those spots, but then I started clicking up and down from each one of those spots to kind of check around, right? Just to see what was going on, because I use that as an opportunity to see what's going on in a tree, right? So then what I would do, and I'm going to show you guys an example, is I would go there and I would see somebody who's a preferred customer, let's say, and they're a preferred customer and they've got 500 something BV personal volume still holding. But what that means to me is that this is a preferred customer who's ordering every single week. And many of you got messages from us saying, hey, you might want to contact this person and let them know that they're going to lose those points because their time's about up. Okay. Now they may not want to do it. I'm telling you guys, I've got preferred customers that never convert to associate. So don't feel bad if you've got the same situation. It's not a big deal. I just wanted you guys to be aware because we're looking at it. Okay. Now, so with that, I'm telling you, if you have any people below you on your tree, take the time to go clicking through there and see what you can see. Because you might see people with preferred customer volume. You might see people with all kinds of stuff going on your tree that you might be able to help them do something with it. And they may not even know what those points mean. Because remember this, if you're a preferred customer, you can't see your tree. Can't see it. There's no such thing. There's not a tree for you, right? So unless you're an associate, you have no tree in your back office. It doesn't exist. So a lot of these people don't know the benefit of that. So let me show you an example of what I did. Okay. So here's an example of somebody who we went down and we found her, right? So Catherine here, right? So Catherine Wolf is here. She's and so when you go to that person's position, you can kind of see what's going on. So Catherine was enrolled in 2017, so May of 2017. She is an associate because right here it says she's an associate. And she's ordering product, right? So she's got her personal volume. What she's personally ordered is 869 BV total, right? Since she's been accumulating points, right? So she's got this 869 points. And then her right side, she's got people that are ordering every week. Something is happening every week. So Isagenix has allowed her to bank up this 5,300 points over here. Okay. So when you go down here, this is what it looks like, right? And this is, so you guys understand what this view is. If you go to, if you go up here to team and click view placement tree, okay? That's how I get this view, okay? In case some of you don't know. So just go to your back office, go to team, go to view placement tree, and you can literally see anybody that's below you. Doesn't matter how they got there, doesn't matter who put them there. I obviously didn't enroll these people are in our team, but I didn't enroll Catherine, and I didn't enroll, and I know Amy, but I didn't enroll Amy either. So, so this is, I can just see them because they're on a part of our team. So I can see here that Amy has ordered 268 points in the last 30 days. That's what this means, PV, right? And she has banked a total of 869 points, which means that she has stayed active every month through her orders totals, and her order totals at this point, since she was last active, is 869, okay? So that's what all of this tells me, okay? So, and this shows me that she's never enrolled anybody over on her left side, okay? And then she's got people over here on the right side, which she may or may not have enrolled any of them, okay? I'm gonna guess that maybe she enrolled Michael, but who knows, right? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, while I'm on this page, I'm gonna show you this too. You see this right here? This says, where it says AS, this is her auto ship. Okay, so she has an auto ship, and her next auto ship is set for August 26th. Okay, and she's active until September 9th. Okay, that's a good sign. Okay, because if she's off, her auto ship is set to go off before her active date, that's a good sign. Okay, some of you need to make sure. Let's see if we've got one here. You can see these people don't have an auto ship at all, right? There's no auto ship here. This person has an auto ship. It's not set to go off until September 13th. This person has no auto ship, okay? And you can move up and down this tree by either pushing this button, it'll take you back to the top of your tree, or you can click this button, it'll take you to the bottom right. You can click this button, it'll take you to the bottom left, but this is obviously the bottom left. Or what I do a lot of, and I'll just sit here and I'll just click down this row, right? So I click on this bottom person. Here's another example, right? So Christina or Krista, she's ordered 72 points in the last 30 days. She's got an auto ship set for August 21st. Okay. So she's just a customer, which is all good. And you can tell, and if I click on her, then that's going to send her to the top of this page right here. That'll move her name up here, right? And then I can go up here and see what's the story with her, right? So Christina is a customer. She's a preferred customer. She's enrolled in 2017, and you can see she has no points saved up, right? Because she's way past her 180 days. She's not an associate, so she's not banking any points at all, okay? But she's got 28 people under her, okay? So I can just keep going down this as long as I want or whatever, but let's go back up here to okay, so Catherine. So we're back here to Catherine. So what I might do now is I might send Catherine a message and say, Catherine, you have enough points stored up to, and I'm not going to tell her she's got enough points to cycle twice because she has no idea what twice is, right? She's actually, if she enrolls somebody on her left, she's going to cycle 3 times, right? Because she only needs, well, maybe I need to go over that. So in this particular case, this is going to be her strong side. Okay, this is her 600 leg side right now because she's got 5,397 points sitting here. So this is her strong side. Okay, she has no points over here. So this is going to be what they refer to as her weak side. When she becomes a consultant, not an associate, when she becomes a consultant, Isagenix system is going to take this 869 points that's here and it's going to put them on her weak side because Isagenix wants you to make money. Okay, you don't have to ask them to do it. You don't have to tell them which side you want to go to. They're just going to automatically do it so that you make money. So when she becomes a consultant, it's going to take this 869 points and it's going to put it over here. So let's say that she enrolls somebody on her left, right? She enrolls somebody in this spot with 100 BV. Okay, just 100. Okay, so now what's going to happen is there's going to be 100 points right here, right? So there's going to be 100 there, okay? So what Isagenix is going to do then is Isagenix system is now going to put this points over here because she's going to also enroll somebody on her right side with 100 points. So this would go to 5497, right? But they're going to move all this over here. So now she's got 969 points on her left side, okay? Isagenix now knows she's got enough here to cycle. So if she's a consultant, Isagenix is going to say, oh, well, she's got enough to cycle. So it's going to take 300 out of this 3 times, right? So she's going to cycle 3 times. And then this number is going to drop down to 69. And then it's going to take 1,800 points out of this side, right? Because 600 points 3 times, right? It's going to take 1,800 points out of this side. That's what's going to happen, right? Now she's a consultant and she cycled 3 times. So 54 times 3 is what, $164, something, 162 bucks. So my message to her would be, just FYI, thanks for being a great customer. If you want, you've got $162 worth of points that I can help you get if you should ever want them. That's it. I just want her to know that I can help her get $162 if she wants it. Okay. Now, what does that mean for her? Okay, so what that means, I'm going to get rid of that first. Okay, so what that means for her is, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to this personally enrolled button right here. Okay, I'm going to click on that personally enrolled button. And I'm going to see that she enrolled Michael Wolf back in 2017. So she has somebody on her right, they're just not active. Okay, so what my suggestion to her would be is to place 100 BV under Michael and enroll a friend of hers on her left side. Boom, done. She can make $162 because she's going to place a right side order and she's going to enroll somebody on her left. So then she will have an active right. She'll have an active right and she'll have an active left at that time. Okay. I don't want to go any further than that, but I don't want to go over anybody's head on this stuff. But it's super important that you guys know to go through your tree and look for these type of examples. Okay, if you see somebody who's got points here, and you see somebody's got points here, and you're like, wow, they've got points here, and they've got some points on one side over, and I don't really know what the heck that just means, but I know Brent said something. Send me a screenshot of it, and I'll be happy to talk to you. Okay, don't hesitate to send me a screenshot, or send a screenshot to any of your other executives that are on the team, or just somebody else that knows more about it than you do, and you'll have plenty of ability to take a look at things and see what you can do, right? Here's another example, right? 395 here, they'd move it over here to these points right here, and so this person would cycle as well, okay? So all of these are just ideas, and I'm just showing these to you guys so you understand that if you see somebody's got points here, any here, and something here, and if that total is, let's say, 1,000 points or more, it probably means that they've got some money that they could get. Okay, so don't be afraid to send me a screenshot until you understand, or send somebody else a screenshot and have them explain to you what they've got as far as money goes. Okay, and then you can always click on this button for any of them, and you'd be able to see what they've done on their right side and their left side. Okay, so this person's enrolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've enrolled 5 people total. Nobody's active. And if they're in red like that, that means that their position is getting ready to get terminated. Okay, they haven't renewed, and this little button that says A or PC, that's going to go to a T. That's going to turn into a T for terminated, and then that position, they can't order in that spot if they wanted to. Okay, and here's an example what we were talking about earlier. See the CU there? That means they're a customer. That means that they've got one of those customer accounts. Okay, so it does happen on your teams. Okay, all right. Okay, so I didn't check the chat, but is there any, if somebody sees it, if there's any questions or something that somebody's got a question about on that topic, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Because it's so important, you guys, because you're taking the time to be on here, and a lot of people either don't take the time or don't have the time, whatever the case might be, and so they can't be on here. And you're wanting to earn some income from this business. If you don't show people how they can make that extra dollar or two, then it's just not going to happen. And if they don't make the money, statistically speaking, they're not going to stay around for a longer period of time. Okay, if they make a little bit of money, they'll stay around longer because now they understand what it feels like to be a good customer, right? They get that money back, and they spend it on whatever they want to spend it on. All right. Okay, so no questions?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it always your right side that's your 600 side?
Great question. So let me go back to that so you can see. Okay, so when you go to the team view placement tree, see this little blue arrow right here?
Yeah.
That blue arrow is pointing toward your sponsor. Okay, there may be one person above there. There may be thousands of people above there. Okay, so it's pointing towards the person that you enrolled. Okay, so in Karen's position, this tail would be her outside leg. Okay, so when I say outside leg or inside leg, I'm referring to the tail of this arrow. Okay, so her tail is going to go this way. Lauren's would point this way, so her outside leg would be her left side. Okay, versus her right side. And the strongest leg is wherever there's the most points. So in Karen's position, yes, she's got a stronger right side than she has a left side, but there's plenty of people who their inside leg is stronger than their outside leg.
Okay.
Okay, so it's wherever the most points are at, that's your 600 leg side. And if you have minor points, then that's going to be your 300 leg side. And some people, it's like dead even. Like it's wherever the first 600 shows up, that's where the cycle happens from. Right? So if this side's, if the right side had, let's say this side had 550 points on it, and this side had 300 on it, well, then your right side is going to be the strong side. And when those other 10 points show up, it's going to cycle out. But if let's say just 10 points exactly showed up, somebody ordered shaker sample, whatever, it was 10 points. Then this would go to 0, and this spot might still have 50 points on it. Now that's your strong side. Okay. So when it gets to 600, then, and like I said, it can change literally every day. It can change multiple times a day. It really doesn't matter. It's wherever the points come up.
Okay. Thank you.
If Karen all of a sudden had let's say Karen all of a sudden had, and let's say she didn't have this bank over here, but let's say all of a sudden she got somebody on her left side that started growing and started enrolling a bunch of people, it wouldn't take a lot for the left side to become the strong side. Okay. So then it would be her 600 leg side, right? It's wherever the most points are at. Any other questions? This is so important, you guys. I mean, this is like something that a lot of people just don't get. And I want you guys to understand it, because this is how you really help people. You know, if you really want to be able to help people and you go through your tree and you take the time to help people, this is where that comes in. Because when you see this, and I can reach out to Karen and say, hey, Karen, you know what? If you need an extra $300 or $400, you've got that sitting in your account. I can help you get that, right? Or I can show you how to get it. And then all of a sudden, you never know. You may be calling her when there's a bill due that she could really use that money, right? And a couple phone calls to some friends to place an order, and all of a sudden she's got the extra money, right? Okay. All right. So that is the, again, going back to the connecting and to going back to the connecting and going back to helping your existing team. Okay. So part of the connecting is connecting to your existing team. Okay. The next part of your connecting is, how do you connect with other people, right? What can you do to connect with other people? And I'll give you an example, something I just did just recently. I got into a page that was that's on bike parts, right? And I got in there and I kind of started talking to some people and talking to them about, hey, I'm looking for a different set of tires for this. What do you guys recommend? That was my question. Hey, I'm looking for a new set of tires for my mountain bike. What do you guys recommend? And then all of a sudden I'm getting all these, tires comments, right? So what I did was I started, a few of the people that seemed to be more engaging in it, right? So I friend requested a couple of them. Well, one of the people that I friend requested was the admin of the page. And so I got chatting with him back and forth, and he's like, hey, he says, can I make you an admin? Because sometimes I'm not always here, and I don't work from my house. Because I told him, I said, I'm on Facebook a lot. And he said, yeah. He said, if I can make you an admin of the page, then if you can answer any questions for people, I'd appreciate it. I'm like, sure, make me an admin. So he made me an admin of the page, right? So now when people post that questions in there, now I can answer questions as the admin of the page. And so now that just elevates me as far as like, now I've gotten a couple more people to send me friend requests because I'm now an admin of this page, right? But that's an example of creating an environment where I didn't create the page. I just got in the page and started actively being engaged in something that was relevant on the page. I didn't try to sell anything. I didn't talk about Isagenix. I didn't talk about nutrition. I talked about what the page was about. What the page is about is bicycle parts, right? So that's how I engaged in that page. And that's one way to increase your network, right? I think I've probably friend requested. I think I've gotten maybe 5 or 6 friend requests this week just because of activity within that page. Now, what are they going to see when they come to my friend page? When they become a friend of mine, they're going to see my page, and my page talks about, I went cycling this morning and I did some in my Isagenix business, right? And then they'll see stuff about my son playing basketball, and they'll learn about me if they choose to look at that. But right now, because we're new friends, right, I'm high on their algorithms, right? So they're going to see a lot of my stuff at first. For the first couple of days, they'll see a lot of my stuff. So if you decide that you're going to go on a friend requesting venture and you're going to go out and friend request a bunch of people, you want to make sure that your personal page has something worth seeing. Okay. So you want to talk about what you've got going on, how things are going on your page. I see Greta over there kind of smiling. Her and her husband, her and Bill went and they did a bunch of paddle boarding, right? So all of that is really good activity. So getting into a paddleboarding page, Greta, would be really cool because now you're in a paddleboarding page and you've got pictures that you can show of your sunset pictures and your birds flying and all the stuff that you did for paddleboarding, right? So you can use that as a hobby, and all you got to do is just go into Facebook and go to the top of Facebook and just say search, do a search for paddleboarding, right? Just type that into search, and you're going to find groups that are going to be talking about paddleboarding, and just request to be involved, right? And it's not fraudulent at all because you really is something that you're interested in and something that you use. You know, I wouldn't go in, and I personally wouldn't go jump into a paddleboarding page because I don't paddleboard. But cycling or anything else, and if I do paddleboard, I can bet you I'll be jumping in those pages, right? So get into pages that you truly have an interest in. It'll just it makes more sense, right? Plus, it doesn't go against your, I don't know, at least doesn't go against my how I feel about being comfortable being in a page, right? All right, so that's one example. Another example, and I know there's several people on here that are in them. I know Vicki Lankowski's in one. My sister's in them. I know Carla's in pages in BNIs. So Business Network International. So any of your business networking groups. So there's Business Network International. There's one called Team that Tracy's in, my wife. There's one that's called LATIP, which is another big organization. So I encourage you to go just search your area for a business, for a BNI, right? And if you're in Wisconsin, if you're in Michigan, just type in BNI Michigan, or if you can probably even type in BNI close to home, whatever. And you'll find a BNI, you'll find a Team, you'll find a LATIP, you'll find other networking groups. Chamber of Commerce is another one. But you can find these groups and you can go visit, right? Take your business cards and go visit. Find a time that works and go visit. Yes, they're going to pitch you. They're going to want you to join, right? But you can, like BNI, you can visit 3 times without joining, right? Hey, yeah, I'm just looking for a group to join and I want to check yours out. You got 3 times. So you can go in there 3 times, pass out your business cards 3 times, and they'll let you give your commercial 3 times. What does that look like? All of them are a little bit different. Some of them are a 30-second commercial, 45-second, or a 1-minute commercial. And what's that sound like? It could just be something like mine tomorrow is going to be, because my BNI is tomorrow morning, mine tomorrow is going to be on kids nutrition, because guess what? We now have the kids shake, right? So I'm going to take in the kids shake and I'm going to say, hey, look, you know what? You want your kids are back to school. You want to fill them with something good before they go to school. Have them drink one of these. And then if they still want to eat the Captain Crunch cereal, let them eat the Captain Crunch after they drink this, right? And I truly mean that, because if the kids want to eat Captain Crunch, they're going to eat Captain Crunch, right? But if you can get them to drink the shake first, maybe instead of eating a whole bowl of Captain Crunch, maybe they just eat a half a bowl, right? So there's nothing wrong with, and the other thing that'll help you with is I don't know how many of you guys saw this. I'm kind of going off a little bit, but there's a big thing on Weight Watchers right now where Weight Watchers getting hammered because they created an app for kids and it's green, yellow, red. So if they type in a food to put in their Weight Watchers thing, it's going to give them a green symbol, a yellow symbol, or a red symbol, right? So what people are saying is, oh my gosh, you're going to ruin these kids' connection with food because they're going to see that their food is red and then they're going to not be able to eat it because they're going to think that's bad and blah, 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 blah. I don't know if it's true or not, right? If I've got to choose between my kids seeing a red symbol or having, lifelong problem with eating with bad food choices, I'm probably going to let them go with the red symbol. But that's an example, though, of what's out there. So if people are concerned about that, we can show them that Isagenix, we don't do red, yellow, green, right? We say, eat your food, but please give yourself some good nutrition first, right? When Zach first started using this Isagenix, he would put freaking Reese's peanut butter cup in it. He'd put a peppermint stick in it for Christmas time, and I didn't care, right? He's going to eat it anyway, right? So why do I tell him not to do it? So if he wants to put a peppermint stick in his shake, fire it up, right? Because I knew what would happen. He'd get too lazy, and then he doesn't want to put the peppermint stick in. He just drinks a shake, right? And that's exactly what happened. So now he doesn't do anything. He just puts his 2 scoops of Isolene Pro in it, pounds them, and out the door he goes. So, but anyway, so my commercial tomorrow will be about that, right? So that's another type of connecting. Another one, I know Vicky's getting ready to do one. She's got a big vendor fair coming up. Vendor fairs are really good. Okay. They can be. Be very, very cautious about how much money you spend to do a vendor fair. And I've done a lot of them. And I'm here to tell you, don't fool yourself that just because people are coming to your table and eating all of your chopped up bars that you're actually accomplishing anything. My recommendation is don't turn your table into Costco. Okay. The only thing I hand out at a vendor fair anymore is I keep the amp hydrate out. I give them a little, and I literally have like little Dixie cups, and I give them a choice. I always have either orange or I have grape, or I have lemon, lime, and grape. And the reason I have those two colors is because they're bright and they're contrasting. And I've got a nice clear pitcher that's got a divider in the middle of it. So half of it is orange and half of it is purple, right? So when people see it, it's got ice in it. It looks inviting. It's cold. And I pick the spigot and I give them one. I say, yeah, this is what it is. And then I say 10,000 times what isogenic hydrate is, right? Over and over again. If they want to try something else, if they're interested in something else, I say just, I always have something sitting there as a raffle, right? That they can enter. And when they enter for the raffle, then that allows me to connect their name, I get their name, I get their email address, get their phone number. And if they're really interested, I Facebook friend them right there, right on the spot. Okay. Wow. Are you on social media? Cool. Would you mind if and I always ask, are you on social media? Yes. Would you mind if I connect with you on social media? Yeah. Cool. Whatever. Which one do you prefer? Right. And then they'll tell you Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Right. Quite honestly, if they say Twitter or anything other than Instagram or Facebook, I go, that's fantastic. Let me take your name down. And I'm not going to, because I just don't. That's the only two I do. I don't do anything else. I don't do LinkedIn. I don't do Twitter. Instagram, Facebook. I don't have time for the rest of them because it's too much, right? So focus on one. Pick one and become a monster machine at one of them, right? And quite honestly, our best one is Facebook. So that's another way to connect, right? So connect at vendor fairs. And then just like I read to you guys last week, it was directly from Eric Worre, sip and samples. Okay. Your home-based sip and sample is still going to be your best event. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't do, and something I'm going to encourage you to do, is if you have it, and some of you don't have it, and if you don't have one, don't go out and open one up because you think you need it, right? Unless you plan on doing a lot of sip and samples. But if you have a business page, you can do what they call a boost to that business page. And what that means is Tracy and I can host a sip and sample here at the house, and I can boost that. I can put that in my business page, my business Facebook page, and I can boost that post, and I can say, I want to boost this to everybody in my zip code. So what'll happen is I can put in my zip code and Facebook, and for like 10 or 15 or 20 bucks, depending on how much I want to spend, Facebook will make sure that if you fit the demographic for what I plug in, then you're going to see in your Facebook feed that Brent Shaw is hosting a sip and sample at his house. Okay, you're going to see that, right? And some of you may not be comfortable with that, and some of you may not know. I'll tell you, I was a cop for 21 years. You want to come to my house? That's cool. I'll show you around. And if you want to come back and you're not invited, that's cool too. I'll show you around, right? So, that's just kind of the way I feel about it, and I'm cool with it. If you're not comfortable with that, that's cool. But you can also host your sip and samples at, like Gail Rozier, a good close friend of ours. She lets us use her photography shop sometimes. So you can always host your sip and sample at someplace not your house if that's not your preference. Okay. Anybody else want to give a shout out for something that you've used recently to connect? Carla, Vicky. Oh, there's Gail right there. Carla, you want to give one out, or Vicky, you want to give one out? Who else do I see on here that I know connects often?
Hi, Will. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I think I've talked about this 100 times, but you got to do it. The walking club. The walking club is such a great thing to do. And our team did a 100-mile mission this summer. Thank you, Abby, for that one. and people were getting together and walking, and it was a great way to connect. And then also create a fitness class, or you can do what Abby did and become a fitness instructor. And this week at her fitness class, she announced that part of her transformation was due to Isagenix nutrition, and she believes in it so much that she's giving away some free post workouts. And so that's what we did. I scooped it and shook it and handed out some samples, and I don't know where it's going to go, but that group of women that we work out with together is definitely, we are networking with them to try our products, no doubt about it. So if you can start a class, you can be the instructor of a class, or you can just take people to the class. Easy.
Yeah, and that's a great connection. Thanks for that, Carla.
Welcome.
You know, just so you guys understand, Jill Bowman, when she started, that's what she did as well. She started her whole thing with a walking club, right? So she was handing out sticks of hydrate, you know, to people when she was doing her little walking thing with them. And I think that's how Stephanie got connected with Jill through her walking club. So walking clubs are a great suggestion. Okay. Anybody else want to give a shout out for an idea?
Local recreation department sports. I'm started playing pickleball on Saturdays. And
That's awesome. Yeah. I've never played.
Oh my God, it's so fun. And a wide range of ages, anywhere from like 20 to 80. And wore my Isagenix shirt, wore my down 100 pounds shirt a couple times. So now people are asking questions.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And that's actually a whole nother one on its own, is the wearing your shirt, right? You guys wear your gear. Yeah, Gail's got hers on. I go to the gym at least 5 days a week. I always, without exception, wear my gear. I always wear my gear. And if people ask me, they ask me. If they don't ask me, they don't ask me. I don't care. I'm wearing my gear, right? Because what happens is I get the people that will ask me, they'll say, you do that? Yeah. You like it? Yeah. You know, and then that can start a conversation. So don't be afraid to show that you use the Isagenix. And wearing a shirt that says, hey, I lost 100 pounds. You want to know how? Ask me. That's an amazing shirt, right? That's going to cause people to ask questions. You go to the grocery store, you got a shirt like that on, somebody's going to ask you a question. Now, you want to make sure that when you go out with that shirt on, that you've got the smile to go with the shirt, okay? So if you're in a really shitty mood, don't wear your Isagenix gear, okay? Bad plan, right? Nobody's going to want to join your team if you're going to be out throwing punches at people and saying bad things to people, okay? On a side note, if you put Isagenix stuff and you put contact information on your vehicle and you drive poorly, that can be a problem as well. I may or may not have gotten an email a couple days ago about my driving, and they weren't happy with it. So if you have your gear on, that can also be a negative thing as well. But that's all right, no big deal. It's all good. So let's see. That's about it, guys. It's about that time. What's up, Jason?
Brent,
Go ahead.
you forgot to share one thing that your wife did really well, and that's
she just did one thing. That's awesome.
Well, one of many. Smart ass. But one of many that stood out was really great is, if your kids play sports, be the team parent to bring the snacks to the game. And I like how she did. Remember how she made the really healthy snacks and different things like that, and you do the hydrate with the water.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, any of you that have ever been snack mom or snack dad, you know that generally your kids go, what do they get? They get a juice box and a Rice Krispie treat, right? So if you become the parent that doesn't bring the juice box and Rice Krispie treat, guess what happens? You get asked to be the parent that brings the treats for tournament day, right? Because they know you're not going to bring them Rice Krispie treats and juice boxes, right? So bringing good quality product for the purpose of an event is a good decision. Okay. That's a really good one. Thanks, Gail, for that. Any other comments? Any other suggestions?
Go ahead, Jason Hurd.
I was going to say about PTA, getting involved with your kids at school, starting in them from an early age, not necessarily focusing on the kids, but focusing on the parents and teaching them what nutritious items that kids could be using with Isagenix. That way they don't have to have the red, yellow, and green. And you don't have to worry about the shaming of a child. You teach the parent the right way, then they'll transfer that information to the children.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And we've done a couple things where we've done some basics sponsoring. We've got our banner hangs up at our son's school. If you go to our son's school, if you go to the basketball court, it's got our banner up there. It says Isagenix, and it says sponsored by Team Shady. And then it gives our contact information, and it's got Zach's name on it, because nobody knows us, they know Zach, right? So, Zach Shaw, Zach Shaw's parents, I think it says something like that. Contact Zach Shaw's parents, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's a banner that's up at his school. So when people are playing basketball, it's on the wall, right? It's up there with all the other plaques and stuff like that. So if your school offers the ability to sponsor the court or something like that, that's just an idea. And it wasn't very much. I think it was, I don't know, maybe $150 or something. So it wasn't too much to throw that up there. Okay.
You guys, a tip, don't forget to share the PIBs with your kids. Grace, we just signed up Grace's friend's mom, and Grace and I went shopping at Lululemon, and she got a new pair of shorts, which is unfortunately more than the $50 PIB I got, but it was well worth it, So I'm like, Grace, you know what? Keep bringing them in, because this parent was buying, and you guys always know somebody's going to get their product from someone. And if you're not going to share the opportunity with them, or share the business with them, or even share signing them up, I'm not going to lie, I do provide people with product, but I guarantee you those people are in my tree. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just let someone come to my house and buy product from me without being in my tree. So I signed someone up. She had been using the products for 6 months, and she had called her contact. I asked who she was, and she told me her name, and I had no idea who she was. I looked her up in the group and never heard of her. But anyway, she signed up. She had been using the product for 6 months. Really not, she Googled how to do it. She told me she was doing a 2-day cleanse every week, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a bit much, but hey, we can get you started on the right track, right? So I got a really, really, really good sign up. The entire family are huge athletes, elite sports, volleyball, baseball, you name it. But so anyway, Grace had slept overnight at the house, and Grace is like, oh, you do Isagenix? And she's like, yeah, I need to get some more. She's like, oh, we do Isagenix. And Grace just got us an awesome sign up. So I believe she's going to be helping me with the fair on Thursday, and we're going to go from there. So, and remember when people say, oh, they have a lot of money that they're not going to be interested in doing the business. This is definitely those people, and this is definitely those people who are going to want to do the business. I can feel it. I just know it, It's awesome because they're healthy. They are constantly, it's funny because I've actually been feeding them bars and hydrate for the last couple of years through volleyball, because Grace plays volleyball with her. So anyway, she's standing right here. Oh, wait, and tell them tryouts for tonight.
I made varsity.
Nice. What's up?
Right. So that's where we were earlier. She had tryouts, and she couldn't try out because her ankle's still bad, but she still made varsity. So it's a good time to be in the house. New shorts and varsity.
That's awesome.
They're 58.
What do you mean?
The shorts.
Oh, stop it. Oh, I said they were more than the PIBs. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying. That's the $50 PIB. I said the shorts were more than the, yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
Lululemon gives 15% discount to veterans all the time.
Well, that's awesome. I wish I was a veteran.
All right. Well, let me touch it. Vicki, that's a great point, and I'm gonna extend on that just a second. So here's what happens a lot of times. So when you guys are out there connecting, I want you to think about this. If you connect with well, I'm gonna give it to you in this different way. If I go through the tree, or if you go through your tree and you see somebody with a lot of personal volume, so in the little square, remember I showed you the little square that had the PV? If you see somebody in your tree that's got a lot of volume, let's say 500-600 points or more, they're probably buying and selling to their friends. Okay? So if you go down there and you see they've got a bunch of PV in there, they're probably buying and then selling to their friends. Here's
So
what's
we
gonna
gotta
happen.
order that calculator.
What's going to happen to that person is they're going to buy it. They're going to sell it to their friend, right? So I bought a bunch. I sold to my friend Laura. And then what happened? Laura walked around with a shaker and she ran into Carla. And Carla's like, you do Isagenix? And she says, yeah. And she goes, oh, are you signed up? No, I just get it from my friend, but I can't get a hold of him right now. Well, let me get you signed up. And you're going to lose your enrollment, or they're going to lose their enrollments because their friend took the advantage and was trying to doing the product purchases for themselves, and somebody else, like anybody on this page, is going to locate them and say, well, I can sign you up and give you your own account, and you won't have to go through your friend. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And then all of a sudden they're good to go. Okay, so if you see somebody with excess volume, make sure that you ask them, hey, I see you've got a lot of that you bought a lot in the last 30 days. Are you really using that much? And they're going to say, no, my aunt wanted some, blah, blah, blah. Show them how to convert the aunt to her own account, okay? And then when you're talking to somebody who's got a lot of money, whatever that really means, or even somebody that doesn't have a lot of money, but they're just kind of hesitant about Isagenix, talk to them about an income stream, right? Are you open to another stream of income? Right? Because another stream of income doesn't sound like doing the business, right? And just by showing them how they can do that can be an amazing thing. Okay. All right. Last thing, because I had a note here and I forgot that I was supposed to do it. So, and then I'll be done. So let me show you guys this real quick. This they talked about at Celebration this year. So, and when you guys are talking about so when you guys are showing people how to do the U+2, them +2, or you're talking to them about the opportunity, this is one of the ways that you can talk to them about it. Okay, ACMDE. Okay, A stands for associate, C stands for consultant, M stands for manager, D stands for director, E stands for executive. Okay, and you guys should all know this. Okay, at consultant, right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and write it out this way. Right now, you can make $150 for becoming a consultant. You can make $250 for becoming a manager. You can make $750 for becoming a director, and you can become $1,000 for becoming an executive. Okay, that's the basics behind it. Okay, how do you do this? You enroll 2 people, one on your right and one on your left. Many of you haven't seen this before, so I'm going to draw it out so that you guys understand. And that is, it works like this. Now, Isagenix has changed it a little bit. So let's say that you started with just 100 BV because you just bought just some basic stuff that you really thought you would use. Okay, so you're going to enroll these 2 people both with 100 BV. Okay, 100 on your right, 100 on your left. Isagenix is going to give you $150 because you signed up 2 people, one on your right, one on your left, with 100 BV. In addition to that, they're also going to give you 10% of this number and 10% of this number. So they're going to give you $10 from the first one and $10 from the second one. So you're going to make $170 because you sponsored 2 people. Okay? You enrolled 2 people. You enrolled your person on your left, and you enrolled a person on your right, and you made $170. Okay? You showed this person how to do the same thing. Okay? They enrolled 2 people, one on the right, one on the left. This person did the same thing, one on the right, one on their left. Now, what happened is you did consultant because you got paid your $170 for becoming a consultant. Now what happened is you showed 2 people how to become consultants, and that means manager. Okay? You have 60 days to become a manager from the day that you convert your account to associate. 60 days. In addition to this $170 you already made, you're going to make another $100 because this person became a consultant. You're going to make another $100 because this person became a consultant. So now you're at $370 because you enrolled 2 people and you showed 2 people how to do the same thing. Okay? If you want to be director, you need 6 of these. 6 people that you've shown how to become a consultant. You enrolled the primary person and you showed them how to enroll 2 people. You need 6 of those. Okay? They all have to be active at the same time. Okay? If one of them falls out, then you're not there. You've got to have 6 total consultants active at the same time. And if you do that within 120 days of signing up, within 120 days of converting to an associate, you're going to make a $750 bonus. Plus, you're going to make $100 6 times. Okay, for each of those consultants, you're going to make a $100 bonus. If you want to become an executive, which is where the real money's at in this business, you're going to need 10 consultants, 10 people that you personally enrolled that become a consultant. Okay, you're going to make $100 for each consultant, plus you're going to make a $1,000 bonus. Okay. Sounds like
Jesus.
I don't know who it is.
Let's go. Brush your teeth.
No, you have to walk.
You better run. You better run.
Diana's having too much fun with her grandkid. All right. So that's how I want you guys to talk about this, okay? ACMDE. And if you guys have questions about that, ask. Okay? Ask if you have questions about that. I'd love to show you how to do it. If you've got, and I mean this, and I'm going to close with this because we've already passed time. If you're talking to somebody and they're like, Brent, I'd really, really, really like to make, $5,000, $6,000. I really need that. And I'm willing to do the work. I can show them how, we can show them how to do that. Okay? We can show them how to make that kind of money if they're willing to go out and find, 6 or 8 people or 10 people that they know would be willing to do the same thing, right? To share with 2 people. 10 people to share with 2 people, okay? I mean, you're talking like, I can do the math again, but it's like it's almost $7,000, okay, that you would make by getting 10 people to enroll 2 people, okay? So it's out there, it's available, you guys, and this next 90 days can be a lot of fun if you guys jump on it and we make this happen. For those of you that are local, Bavra is going to be here in town. I posted in the Team Shady business page. So Bavra is going to be in town, and she's also going to be doing a presentation with Dr. Plant, and they're going to be doing a presentation at corporate. So if you're not sure about that, or if you want to know, it's in the Team Shady business page. Also, Michigan is throwing a big Super Saturday. Trace and I are flying up there for that. So there's going to be a big Super Saturday in Michigan. And Eddie, you can come down for that or drive up, whatever, if you want. But yeah, so we're going to do a Super Saturday in Michigan. If any of you want to run a Super Saturday, you want to do a big event, let us know. We'll make sure that happens. We'll show you how to make that happen. Actually, we won't. Carla will. Carla and Dan will show you what they've done to put this together and make it happen. Okay? That's it. Have a fantastic night, you guys. Thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate it. And again, don't hesitate to send questions if you have them. Abby saw my message.
Brent, I got a quick question.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I missed part of one of the girls was talking about a walking club. Is that something they do on Facebook, or is that something they actually meet together and they all walk together, or is that something people just kind of check in with their Fitbit or something, or how does that?
Well, you could do either. So you could do a virtual walking club where that's kind of what they did, where they said, hey, look, you've got to do 100 miles over a period of time. And Abby would be the one to talk to about that because she did that. So send her a message and I'm sure she'll tell you how she did her 100-mile club. But the recommendation is start your own local walking club, right? Set time every day, go out and walk a mile, right? So, and then just pass that information out to your neighborhood so that everybody knows that, hey, look, you know what, we're going to walk a mile every day at this time. And so everybody knows they can come out, they can, you know, push the baby, carry the dog, whatever.
So, yeah, you guys, Brent, sorry, this is a great time to do that with school starting. And if you have kids, guess what? With sports now, Grace is going to be at practice 2-3 times a week. So I should be doing this.
Yeah.
Getting all the moms together, drop your kids off. Some of them go meet at the bar. Well, let's go meet on the track and walk around, right?
Yeah. And then go to the bar. So, yeah, no, that's a great idea. That's a great idea to start to do the walking while the kids are doing their sporting event.
And
Hey, I can
remember,
share how all of that got started if you guys want. Well, I'm gonna go somewhere. Alexa, turn on lights. Basically, Alexa, turn on lights. She never listens to me.
Okay.
Basically, Jill put an advertisement in the school newspaper, and we had maybe like 1 or 2 people. Linda and I caught it. We knew each other, and we're like, oh, we should go. We should do that. Get to know other moms, because it was great. We were all in kindergarten, so nobody really knew each other. Doesn't matter. Every mom needs more friends. Moms get very lonely at home, so they're always looking for extra people to hang out with. But we had the ad in the newspaper, and then just word spread. I think we got up to about 12 at some point. Started off with about 5 people. We just walked around the track most of the time. Sometimes Jill brought equipment. Sometimes we sprinted. Sometimes we gave each other challenges. We would walk up and down the bleachers. We just used whatever equipment we had. But it really was a true time for us to get to know each other, talk about parent issues, child issues. And then, of course, Jill started handing out hydrate sticks, and that led us into the conversations of what she had to offer with the nutrition. And we enrolled 6 people within a 5-day period, and quickly, right after that, hosted a sip and sample, and everybody else enrolled.
That's awesome. Yeah.
They're
and
still here today.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. It's a great idea. Advertise it and make that happen. But yeah, either way, Aaron. And if you do it, let us know. Okay, if any of you decide to do that, let us know. Okay, because I'd love to hear the feedback on it. All right.
Megan's hiking club went really well.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right, you guys, have a fantastic night. We'll wrap it up. Have a good night. Thank you, guys.
You too.